Hey everyone, welcome to Monument Peak Sawhouse. We're gonna talk about some chains today and talk about kind of how I grind and if this is all useful to you, which I'm sure some of you will find. I've been grinding for, let's see, going on probably 4 years now. No, take that back, actually about 6 years. Uh, I've always done round chisel chains is what I've always done. I've done it from 1/4 inch pitch all the way up to 404, all the way up to the harvester. Uh, and I'm going to give you kind of how I go about mine. First thing is know what kind of wood you're going to cut. Are you going to be cutting green wood? Are you going to be cutting seasoned wood? You're going to be cutting softwoods? You're going to be cutting hardwoods? You know, are you going to be cutting big wood? Are you going to be cutting small wood? Frozen? You know, whatever. What we're doing right now is we're grinding. We're going to grind a Oregon 75 LPX chain, 3/8 pitch, 63 gauge. We are going to grind this into a green wood grind, and so we're going to be cutting green Doug first, so it's a soft wood, and it's going to range between probably 10 inches to, I don't know, probably 22 inches is what we're going to be cutting in. So kind of a medium-sized wood. We're going to be running a 32-inch bar. So what we're going to do is we're going to grind this chain to that and then set our riders for it. What I go ahead and do for my green grind, this is all round chisel. None of it's square chisel. The way I set mine is I set my top plate angle to 25 degrees. I set my tilt on my chain back to 10 degrees, back 10 degrees, and then I set my actual wheel angle at right at 65 degrees. You can go 70. Depends. The blunter your gullet is, so the less gullet you have, it will save your chain. It'll make your chain not go as fast because you're not grinding as much gullet. It will make it not as a grab. Won't grab or bite as hard as a chain with a lot of gullet. And that's good for green wood. You don't want it to bite as hard because when it's green and fibrous, it's going to grab real easy. You don't want it biting real hard. If not, it's going to be real grabby, especially if you have your rakers down or riders. If you're cutting seasoned wood, and it's not going to be real fibrous like Doug First season, you can grind. I'll grind my gullet back at like usually a 50 to 55 degree. I'll make a deeper gullet. It'll make my corner a lot deeper, make my gullet a lot deeper, then which in turn makes my corner way sharper. It grabs a lot more. It just bites a lot harder. It'll bite into that seasoned wood that's not as fibrous. Plus, you can take your rakers down a little bit more. But for right now, we're cutting green wood. So we have our top plate angle set at 25. We have our chain tilted back 10 degrees. And then we have our stone angle set at 65. Got our tooth mark. Come in here. We'll back our stop off so we're not grinding a bunch of the chain out. Get it set in here just about perfect. About right there, about perfect. Set our stop right about there. Tighten everything down. I'm going to grab something real quick. So here we go. We're going to go in here, grind this, and what you're looking for is you are wanting to not overheat the tooth. You want to take it easy on the tooth. You don't want to just, flat out just grind right into it real quick one time, overheat the tooth. You just want to have some finesse, just nice and easy, just up and down a little bit, take it nice and easy, and then you want to make sure you get your top plate nice and square the whole way across, and then really watch your corner. You want to make sure you get a good corner. Corner is the key to a sharp cutting chain, is making sure your corner is nice and sharp. That's the main thing. Rakers, if you want to make it cutting, harder, bite deeper, that's your rakers, but really watch your corner. So here, we'll go in here and start grinding. When I grind with this, what I like to do is when I come to my tooth, I hold a little back pressure on it, clamp with my right hand, switch over to my left, and then grab my grinder, come down here. First chain, you might have to make some adjustments. I noticed this is a little bit too far back. We'll back that off a little bit. That lets our wheel bite in deeper. That's a good looking chain. Our gullet's not as deep, but we have a good corner, maintain a good corner. Our top plate's nice and even the whole way across. We're not overheating the chain. We're taking it nice and easy so that way we don't overheat anything. If you overheat your chain, it can put a weak spot in it. Also, if you overheat your corner will dull quicker because it's not as hardened as it was before. And then the key to maintaining a sharp chain is really watch what you're doing. Watch for dirt, watch for rocks, watch for, whatever. Really, a lot of people will think, oh, if I keep it out of the rocks and everything, I'm fine. Dirt doesn't do anything. I have had chains that I run and kept out of the rocks and everything, but if you get it in dirt, I've had chains, like I said, they'll be in nothing but dirt. They won't come in contact with a single rock, and the dirt alone will dull the piss out of them, and they will cut like crap. It takes a little bit longer, but it will dull your chain. Especially if you're a firewood cutter, really, I know it's a pain trying to keep the wood clean, but really takes the time to do it. We're looking good on all of our top plates and our corners. We'll get going on some speed here. You get in the groove of things and get going here, you can get going quick. The angles that I'm using right now, this is what I grind all my 3/8 pitch at. 325 pitch, I'll grind usually a little bit different. My top plate and everything will be the same, but usually where it's different is in the wheel angle. That's where you get a little bit different. Other than that, everything stays about the same. Just depends on your pitch. Mainly come around to the opposite side, check our wheel, make sure we're biting in good, look good, fire her up. Nice corner on that chain. Our gullet's not as deep, which is good for what we want this grind to be. Skip the two. Sometimes you have some sawdust, wipe it off so you're not grinding blind. Grab something real quick. Good looking tube. It's also important on any, if you're grinding, if you're hand filing, whatever, do not take too much off of your chain. Don't be going and, say you rock the chain and, you just start grinding away and grind it to where you can't see any of the dull marks in it, where you rocked it. What you're going to do is shorten the life of your chain on one side. You'll have one side that's older than the other, plus it will cut crooked. If you have one set of teeth one length and the other set's way lower, it'll want to pull to the one side. It'll cut way crooked. Won't cut, just won't cut right. And really, if you rock the chain, evenly and you can grind it out on both sides, that's great. If it's kind of on one side, just, grind as much as you can out and wait until the next grind. You might have to, grind it maybe 2 or 3 times. I have chains sometimes while rocking. It might take me another 2 to 3 grindings to get that out to where it's really where I like it. It just takes a little bit of time. That's another reason you don't want to, be rocking your chains left and right, because then you have to put up with, waiting until you get it ground all the way out to where it's cutting how you want it. Grinding chains, the key is, good light, good wheel, good grinder, and then just take your time with it. Don't get in, a big hurry. I can do this pretty quick, but get good results. I've done it for a long time. If you're new at it, just take your time with it, and if you do it enough, you'll get good at it. I can get these chains right here way sharper than any of your Stihl or Husqvarna dealer or your saw shop, that's grinding it round, your Ace Hardware, whatever like that. I can get it way sharper, not as sharp as square chisel, but pretty doggone good for a round chain. So that's the end of our chain. I'll bring you up here for a close-up view. We've got 2 more to do after this here. That'll be off camera. We'll bring you up here. Hopefully you can see what we're looking like, if my camera will focus. You can see the corner there. See how nice and clean that corner is, just right at a point. The top plate on it, see how nice and even that is. See how it's nice and straight. Come around to our other side, see how nice and straight that is right there. Look down on our gullet, you see our corners there. Corners looking good. You see our gullet, we don't have a whole lot for a gullet. Nice and even. We'll take the rakers down. I usually file, most chains say to do it 25 thousandths or 25. I do mine 30. I do mine a little bit more. That's how I like mine to be, because sometimes I don't like to dog my saw in. But this chain right here, we'll go through, do our rakers. This is a skip tooth chain. This thing here will cut like, cut great in greenwood. Now, if you get into like we'll go back to grinds a little bit. If you get into like a maple out here, green maple and seasoned maple, the seasoned maple, you'll file I like to bring my gullet back in a little bit more so it'll bite a little bit harder. File my rakers a little bit lower. Green maple, I will run a seasoned maple chain on it, just